morning and greetings from South Georgia, USA. We are here at December the 13th, 2024. Early morning out here, coming out to feed the deer, and we noticed that these stags are really getting with it this morning. And they were way down there near the pine trees, and now they've come up here into this field, and they're really having quite a tussle. I guess they heard me talking. We got a chilly morning this morning. The wind has finally died down. It was very windy yesterday. And we are right at the freezing point, even though the weather report did not report that it would be quite that cold. Alright, so we are going to now put out corn, and we will get back to you in just a minute. All right, we have put the corn out, and the deer and the goats are eating happily. Notice that the red deer hinds are not up here this morning. I don't know what they're doing or why they're not up here, but the bucks are up here. The stags, they call them. All right, I want to talk this morning about the drone situation, the mysterious drones that we have been hearing about in the news. I don't hardly know where to start. I will say that according to the news, drones are being seen all over the United States, near military bases, over neighborhoods. Mysterious drones. They have been the subject of a congressional investigation, apparently. And according to the news, that would be Fox News and others, nobody seems to know what it is, where these drones are coming from, and why they are coming over in swarms. Apparently the military has said that it is not their drones. Well, I can tell you this. I've been looking at it for a couple of days. I've kept my mouth shut about it to listen. There are lies being told here about this situation. And as I've said many times, don't believe everything you hear. I am assessing this as, I'm not going to say what it is for sure, because I don't know. I'll give you some possibilities, and I'll give you my number one possibility, that I think that this is a psychological operation, a psyop, that is being perpetrated by military entities. Most probably military entities of our own military. Apparently the military has said that it is not them. Well, if the military is doing it, of course they're going to say it's not them if they're trying to do it in a way that is, a psyop. They can't say, oh yeah, it's us conducting a psyop. That's one possibility, and that's, I put that high on the list, that it's our own people doing this. I have several reasons for thinking that, and that is because if it were foreign people, there's been some speculation that the Iranians have come off our east coast with some kind of a ship, and they are launching these drones from the ship. Well, of course, our military has the capability of finding that ship and ordering them to quit doing it. And of course we could fire a shot across their bow or even sink them because a foreign government launching swarms of drones into our airspace is an act of war, and it would be highly illegal. Okay, so I'd say that's not the case. I don't think it's the Iranians. Okay, let's go with another possibility. That it would be a private corporation doing it. Let's say BlackRock. Well, if it was a private corporation, the U.S. military has the capability of finding out who's flying swarms of drones. They know that. They would know that. They would be able to counter that if they chose to. They would certainly be able to find out where they're coming from and what they're doing. Somebody on the news claimed that the Chinese and the Russians were years ahead of us in drone technology. I doubt that. I really doubt that to be the truth at all. But of course, that would be one bit of information they would want to plant in people's mind through the news media if they were trying to frighten the American people or run some kind of a psychological operation for reasons unknown at this time. I don't think that they're years ahead of us in drone technology. I would think it would be that we are certainly equal to them or possibly greater than them. All right, we got another possibility, and that is that this is alien technology, as in from another planet. Solar system, or something like that, from space. And that somehow or another these people are managing to fly drones from their spaceship. Once again, I say if this were the case, the U.S. military would know it. And they would say it's not us, but they might not tell us what it really is because it would create a panic if that's the case. Is it a real? It's a UFO, all right. They are unidentified as to whoever they are, who's bringing them. Apparently, they keep calling them drones. Apparently, they are drones with propellers. It's a drone. Quite large. They're saying that they're as big as a Volkswagen or something like that. And for those of you that don't know what a Volkswagen is, that are young, it's a Volkswagen Beetle. A car from the 60s and 70s and 80s that there aren't many around anymore. Or a small pickup truck the size of the drone. All right, that's one possibility. Now there is another possibility, and that is that these drones flying around are from another dimension that is not in our solar system or planetary system. Another dimension, which I believe there are other dimensions that we are not able to get into. Some of those dimensions they may have the capability to come into our dimension. That's a possibility. And it has also been suggested that these drones are demonic and that they have come from the abyss. Now that's moving into Bible kind of talk, the abyss. In the Bible, there is a prediction that in the end times, demonic spirits will come out of a place called the abyss, which would be under the earth or some kind of way that we have no access to, and that they would fly around and that they would sting people and do all kinds of stuff. So I guess that's all the possibilities I can think of. I haven't heard anything about these drones doing anything to anybody, scaring them. And I will list one more possibility, and that is the plain old something that we haven't thought of and can't figure out, an unknown place that we haven't even considered. We don't know everything. So that's a kind of my little take on the mysterious drones. Now I'm going to shift to another bit of news right now, and that is the story of the young man that allegedly shot the healthcare insurance executive, left a bunch of evidence behind, shell casings, fingerprints, ran around up in the Northeast for a few days, and then finally was caught in a McDonald's with the murder weapon. And it turns out that the insurance company that he allegedly was trying to punish is probably the biggest one. And one of the owners of that insurance company is the infamous BlackRock. What a name, BlackRock. Well, you know, that's kind of demonic in itself, BlackRock. Well, you know what the Black Rock is? The Black Rock is the stone that is in Mecca, that the Muslim world reveres and essentially worships, marches around, kisses it, and all that kind of stuff. That is the Black Rock. So I think it is odd that a company would choose the name BlackRock. And it's also apparently one of the biggest and owns the most stuff. And there have been many allegations about BlackRock to be involved in wars and starting wars, running wars. They own a lot of stuff. You might say BlackRock is almost analogous with the company of the devil. That's just my take on it, as much as I've heard about it. And then it has something, it owned that insurance company where that man was killed, allegedly. I'll say it again. Something about that story, right from the very beginning, has thrown up a red flag to me. I don't know for a fact that that man was even killed. Right from the very beginning, I could see that the news media was feeding us that story, letting out evidence that they couldn't possibly have known. And police don't usually give out all their evidence, you know. Why would they do all that? So it appears to me to be a psychological operation. Who's conducting it? Who's doing it? The U.S. military, the U.S. government, CIA, FBI, who knows? But don't believe everything you hear. And that's the news as brought to you this morning from South Georgia, USA. The only news that I can tell has any importance. But I do believe that we're being force-fed these news tidbits. And I believe a lot of it is meant to scare us. possibly into compliance, possibly for some other reason. The best thing, I believe, is to just listen and see what they say, and don't believe these things. Don't believe everything you hear. We're being lied to a great deal. Let's now shift gears to what really we can believe. I believe that Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah, Jesus Christ, is the truth. The only real truth that we can count on. He's never been proven to be a liar that I know of. Now some people say, oh, Jesus said he was coming back and he hasn't come back. Well, Jesus didn't say when he was coming back. So we're going to have to wait a long time. Like, how about forever to see if he does or doesn't come back? That doesn't mean he's not the truth. In this time of very troubling happenings in the news and on earth, we can count on Jesus. Now let me tell you something that just came to my mind. I was talking about BlackRock being the company of Satan. Well, guess what? Jesus is also the rock. He is the rock that was cut out without hands, is what it says, I believe, in the prophecies of Daniel. That there would be a rock that was cut out without hands. That means God would cut that rock out. Now this is symbolic. And Jesus is that rock. It's a rock that can't be moved. Jesus said if you believed in him, it would be like building your house upon a rock. The Bible talks of Jesus being the rock, the foundation, the capstone, the cornerstone. I'm not sure which one it is, but many, many times Jesus is referred to as the rock. How about the Rock of Ages? Believe me, it talks about Jesus being the rock a bunch of times. So we have two rocks here. We have the black rock, which the Muslim world worships somehow. And then we have the Rock of Ages, Jesus. Two different rocks. Which one of them is the true rock? I believe it's Jesus. I believe he's the rock that was cut out without hands. And if you build your house on that foundation, Jesus promises that the wind and the waves will come and they will not be able to sweep your house away. Now, he's not talking about a physical house. It's an analogy. He's talking about the house of your existence. That if you believe in that rock rather than the other rock, the black rock, then you will be saved. And that means when your mortal body dies, that you will have another kind of body that will never be swept away. And that is the born again body that is founded upon the rock. Now, in this time of strange drones flying around, wars and rumors of wars, wind and roaring of the waves, volcanoes and earthquakes, strange political happenings, drones flying around that we can't figure out. Let's put our feet on the rock of ages. And let's trust in that. And let's watch the news. Nothing wrong with that. But let's just understand, don't believe everything you hear. In fact, I wouldn't believe hardly any of it. I would just wait and see. You know, the Bible also states that, I think Jesus said this, that there will be nothing that will not be revealed. That those things which were hidden will eventually be revealed. So we can just wait for that. Just wait. There's no secrets that will not be revealed. And what's going on with these drones and all of this kind of stuff is going to be revealed. But we can't make it happen now. And don't let the news media, the fake news, the psyops, don't let them tell you what it all means, because they lie. And that's what's going on here in South Georgia, USA. And we are up to, it looks like about 21 minutes. We're going to pause here just for a minute and gather our thoughts. All right, we have paused for a minute and we have gathered our thoughts. And I can't gather anything more than what I said. Jesus promised that He was the way, He was the truth, and He was the life. This is, we contrast the news of the world and we contrast the news of Jesus. You know, for many, many hundreds, if not thousands of years, we have heard that the gospel was the good news. The good news of the gospel. And that's what I'm telling you. Jesus said He was the way. Follow me, He was saying. He is the truth. He is telling you the truth. He's not fake news. He's true news. And He is the life. That is life eternal. That is the rock, the cornerstone of our existence. The stone that the builders rejected by crucifying Him. You know who crucified Him? Well, Black Rock did it. But they did not realize that by crucifying Jesus, they sealed their own demise or death. Because when Jesus died, He declared, "It is finished." The work of salvation to those that look upon that crucifixion image and say, "Yes, I believe that you are the Son of God." The Rock of Ages. Which rock are you going to put your faith in? Are you going to put your feet upon the black rock? Or are you going to put your feet upon the Rock of Ages? If you would like to put your feet on the Rock of Ages, then this is how you can do it. You simply say, "Jesus, save me. I believe that you are the rock that was cut out without hands. You are the rock that will never be swept away. You are the Rock of Ages, and I want you to save me. I want you to come into my heart and give me a new heart that is called the Holy Spirit." Well, that's the way I see the news this morning, the good news of the gospel, not the news of the world. However, I'm going to tell you the news of the world from time to time because we're in the world and we have to keep up with what's going on. We don't want to be ignorant. Don't believe much of what you hear. Do believe in Jesus Christ unto everlasting life. All right, that's we've got the deer fed pretty good. I'm going to swing around here and get a different view of the some of the animals over here. We've got some of them over here. The sun is beating down on them. We thank you for watching. If you got any comments or questions, put them out there, put them on there, and I will try my best to respond to you. All right, thank you for watching.